according to the latest news from the Associated Press news website. Within 48 hours from March 8th to 9th, rainfall in various parts of the United Arab Emirates hit an 80-year high, with Dubai reaching an astonishing 250 millimeters, more than double the region's multi-year average. This rare heavy rainfall struck so quickly that it brought a devastating blow to this country known for its dryness. When heavy rains first arrived, many highways that were originally wide and smooth were filled with water and turned into concrete floors in just a few hours. Hundreds of passenger cars and trucks were stranded amid strong winds and pouring rain. Watching the water submerge the car body, many drivers had no choice but to climb on the roof of the car and wait for rescue. According to reports, one of the taxis that tried to escape from the flood was unfortunately swept into the emergency drainage ditch on the roadside by the flood. The whereabouts of the driver and 2 passengers are unknown. This sudden flood swallowed up all the hardships in his life. At the same time, residential areas in many neighborhoods of Dubai also fell into water. Residents from places like Kalba and Al Ain reported that the 48-hour heavy rain caused the basement and first floor to be completely submerged underwater, turning them into underground cities in an instant. Some parents could only sit in front of the second-floor window with their children in their arms, watching helplessly as their belongings were crumbling in the rising water, but there was nothing they could do. Thank you for liking, leaving comments, subscribing and turning on the little bell. We will update every day. In the nearby Abu Dhabi Industrial Park, nearly 100,000 new foreign immigrant blue-collar workers who made their living here also became homeless refugees overnight. Facing the new life brought by the flood, they could only hold hands, look at each other's tired faces, and move step by step towards the city away from the flood range. Even Dubai International Airport, which is far away from the flooded area, cannot escape the ravages of floods. A large number of flights were cancelled or delayed, and a large number of air passengers were chasing the last plane in the chaos, trying to escape this catastrophe. A plainclothes police officer who witnessed the whole process said that the scene was desolate and unforgettable and heartbreaking. In the face of this unprecedented crisis, all walks of life in the UAE have come together to lend a helping hand to people in need. The ruler of Dubai generously invested 500 million dirhams in emergency relief funds. The Ministry of National Defense dispatched tanks and excavators to clear the blocked traffic and drainage systems 24 hours a day. The civil defense team is also busy patrolling flooded areas 24 hours a day, evacuating residents and rescuing property. A civil defense team member recalled witnessing the forced evacuation of nearly 1 million people at lightning speed. The scene was unforgettable. At the same time, people from all walks of life have also spontaneously organized volunteer teams through social software to deliver warm food and clothing to the victims. Friends are known only through adversity, and this rain has become an opportunity to re-demonstrate the spirit of solidarity among Emirati people. After experiencing this catastrophe, I believe that the victims and all sectors of society will pay more attention to flood prevention awareness and jointly cope with the challenges of natural disasters. Facing the test of nature, only unity can avert danger. In the past few months, due to the lack of rainfall all year round, the Dubai government has been using rain bombs to regulate the weather. The situation has turned 180 degrees. Why is this? First of all, Dubai is located in the eastern part of the Arabian Peninsula and has a typical tropical desert climate. There is very little rainfall throughout the year, with the average annual rainfall being only about 100 millimeters. The average summer temperature can reach over 40 degrees Celsius and is very dry. This climate condition causes Dubai to have extremely scarce fresh water resources, and it often faces the dilemma of water shortage. Using rain bombs to increase rainfall can alleviate Dubai's water shortage problem. Secondly, in recent decades, with the rise of the oil industry, Dubai's economy has developed rapidly. A large number of people are pouring in, infrastructure construction is advancing rapidly, and various large-scale projects are being built one after another. This has led to a rapid increase in demand for fresh water in Dubai. Limited groundwater alone can no longer meet demand. Using rain bombs to increase rainfall and provide more fresh water is necessary to ensure Dubai's economic development. Rain bombs spread chemical substances such as silver iodide in clouds, which can cause cloud droplets to merge into larger water droplets and speed up the process of forming rainfall. Compared with natural rainfall, rain bombs can quickly increase rainfall in a short period of time. This can quickly provide an additional source of fresh water for Dubai, which is severely short of water. Compared with building large-scale infrastructure to alleviate water shortages, such as desalination, the cost of using rain bombs to stimulate rainfall is very low. Rain bombs are mainly composed of cheap chemicals such as silver iodide. When used, they only need to be dispersed in the clouds by airplanes. Simple operation and low investment cost are also important considerations for the frequent use of rain bombs in Dubai. More importantly, since the rise of rain-inducing technology in the mid-20th century, various countries have made great progress in the research and development of rain-inducing bombs. The composition and dispersion technology of modern rain bombs are becoming increasingly mature, which can effectively increase the water droplets in clouds and promote rainfall. Dubai has also proven through years of use that under appropriate conditions, rain bombs can significantly increase rainfall. This ensures the continued effectiveness of rain bombs. At the same time, Dubai often hosts various large-scale events, such as the World Expo. This places requirements on the appearance of the urban landscape. At the same time, Dubai is a developed tourism area, and a comfortable climate is one of the important conditions for tourism. This requires the use of rain bombs to adjust the weather and ensure the city image of Dubai. However, Dubai not only uses rain bombs to promote rain, but it is also very vulnerable to storms. The main reason is complicated. First of all, in winter, the warm and humid air over the Mediterranean Sea will affect Dubai along with the westerly wind, and this air contains a lot of water vapor. When it encounters the dry air in Dubai itself, the water vapor will quickly condense and release heat, causing convection to rise. Under certain conditions, it will develop into strong convection and produce a storm. Chemical substances such as silver iodide contained in rain bombs can promote the condensation of water droplets and increase cloud cover. But at the same time, it may also cause the originally stable warm and humid air mass to become unstable. Once you encounter incentives that cause convection to rise, it may trigger a strong convective system and develop into a storm. Winter in Dubai is from November to March. Affected by the westerly winds, various weather systems frequently affect Dubai. Cold fronts, cyclonic storms, etc. provide favorable conditions for the occurrence of storms. The probability of storms during this period is relatively high. Dubai's urbanization is developing rapidly, and the urban heat island effect is obvious. This can induce strong convective rise on a local scale and trigger storms. Chemical substances in artificial rain can also play a supporting role. Dubai frequently conducts artificial rainfall in summer, but its impact on flooding has been controversial. In order to clarify the relationship between the two, academic circles have carried out a series of studies. The earliest research found that rainfall in Dubai will indeed increase significantly after rain-inducing activities. The rainfall within 24 hours after each rain-inducing activity is about 15 to 25% higher than that in the control area. However, the sample sizes of these studies are small and the certainty is not high. After 2000, with the accumulation of research data, studies using regression analysis showed that after considering various influencing factors, the correlation between rain forcing and the increase in rainfall in Dubai is not significant. In recent years, some scholars have used numerical simulation methods to study the impact of rain-inducing activities on heavy rainfall in Dubai. The study found that under typical unstable weather conditions, rain forcing may increase the peak rainfall intensity in some moderate to heavy rainfall areas by 5 to 15%. However, it has little impact on the spatial and temporal distribution of heavy rain. There is also a view that the rain-inducing effect is restricted by various meteorological conditions and will only enhance part of the rainfall, but not all. Regarding the relationship between rainfall and floods, the current mainstream view is that there is a certain correlation between the two, but rainfall is not the decisive factor that directly induces floods. The occurrence of floods is more related to changes in meteorological systems. However, increasing rainfall through rain forcing may cause some moderate to heavy rainfall to exceed the capacity threshold of the urban pipe network system, thereby exacerbating flood losses. In the future, mechanism model research needs to be carried out to improve the scientific basis of judging the impact of rainfall. Therefore, the scientific issue of the relationship between rain-inducing activities and flood disasters in Dubai still needs continued and in-depth research, and a variety of research methods need to be used to conduct detailed analysis of the impacts under different meteorological systems to improve the certainty of the analysis. Some studies have pointed out that due to the influence of global warming, extreme weather in the Persian Gulf may increase in the future. This would also result in Dubai being hit by more frequent and stronger storms. Dubai's water resources mainly rely on seawater desalination, and local freshwater resources are extremely scarce. Rain bombs can only play a mitigating role, but cannot fundamentally solve the water shortage problem. This results in frequent rain-boosting operations, increasing the probability of storms. The use of rain bombs in Dubai can be traced back to the 1990s and was initially used to enhance rainfall in winter and spring. At the beginning of the 21st century, with the rapid development of Dubai and the surge in demand for fresh water, the use of rain bombs gradually increased. Around 2010, rain-inducing activities in Dubai have developed into a regular summer practice. Although the specific data is unknown, research shows that the amount of silver iodide used to induce rain in Dubai every year shows a steady upward trend. The amount of silver iodide used in the 1990s was about 100 to 500 kilograms. By around 2010, the annual usage may have exceeded 1,000 kilograms. As Dubai's economy and population grow, the demand for rain boosters continues to increase. Public reports show that around 2015 was the peak period of rain-inducing activities in Dubai. It is reported that in 2015 alone, Dubai used more than 160 aircraft to carry out rain seeding activities, and the amount of silver iodide used may have exceeded 2,000 kilograms, setting a new historical record. After entering 2016, due to doubts about rain-inducing technology and regional environmental considerations, the Dubai authorities began to restrict the use of rain-inducing bombs. The number of aircraft used for rain-boosting activities decreased during the year. Since 2017, according to meteorological records, there are still relatively frequent artificial rainfall enhancement activities every year. Academic circles estimate that Dubai's average annual rainfall should be around 1,000 to 1,500 kilograms. In the past 2 years, Dubai has experienced another heat wave and severe drought, and the demand for rain has increased again. Although there is a lack of official data, experts infer that Dubai's rainfall may return to a higher level after 2019 to alleviate drought conditions. Dubai has a typical arid desert climate, but whenever heavy rains hit, it is prone to floods of varying degrees. According to the different rainfall intensity and influence range, heavy rains in Dubai can be divided into showers, thunderstorms, and heavy rains and floods, which affect flood disasters in Dubai through different mechanisms. The first is the shower-type heavy rain. It is weak in intensity, affects local areas, and mostly occurs in urban centers with dense buildings. The short-term heavy rainfall of showers will cause surface runoff to collect quickly, and the drainage system has limited capacity and cannot cope with a flood peak caused by heavy rain, thus causing water accumulation on roads and low-lying basements. At the same time, rainwater will wash away road garbage and enter the drainage outlet, causing garbage blockage and aggravating water accumulation. Thunderstorm-type precipitation intensity is greater than that of showers and is accompanied by strong electrical activity. Most of them are produced in the Dubai Gulf area. The water vapor brought by the sea breeze encounters the desert heat and low pressure, and strong convection causes heavy precipitation. A large amount of rainwater is generated in a short period of time, which far exceeds the bearing capacity of the pipe network system. The rainwater directly floods the road, causing serious flooding disasters. At the same time, the extremely uneven spatial distribution of thunderstorm rainfall also leads to serious local flooding. Rainstorms and floods have the largest impact range, last for a long time, and have the most serious impact on Dubai's overall flooding. When the westerly wind brings large-scale warm and moist airflow to Dubai and interacts with the cold air, a complex mesoscale convective system will develop, resulting in widespread and intense precipitation. This will have an impact on Dubai's road and pipeline systems throughout the city. Large amounts of rainwater accumulate quickly on roads and low-lying areas, lasting for hours or even a day. In severe cases, it may cause casualties and property damage. Dubai has carried out large-scale urban construction and expansion in the past few decades, but in the concept and specific design of urban planning, flood control and drainage considerations are relatively weak, resulting in its increasingly prominent flood risk. Specifically, the insufficient flood control and drainage in Dubai urban planning is mainly reflected in the following aspects. First of all, Dubai's urban planning focuses too much on economic development and construction speed, while relatively ignoring the need to adapt to the local climate environment. Dubai has a tropical desert climate with scarce rainfall but high intensity of rainstorms. However, this was not fully considered in the planning and design, resulting in insufficient ability to withstand heavy rains and floods. Secondly, the early planning did not properly configure the green space system for flood control and drainage. With the rapid expansion of cities, the proportion of green space is seriously insufficient. This has led to the city's over-reliance on impermeable pavement, and rainwater cannot penetrate in time to recharge groundwater, increasing the risk of flooding. At the same time, the planning and design did not fully consider the rainwater storage space, and the surface flood storage capacity was obviously insufficient. There is a lack of space in the urban area that can store heavy rains, such as rainwater parks, which reduces the flexibility to deal with heavy rains. More importantly, the planning lacks consideration for the renovation and upgrading of pipe networks in old urban areas. Most pipe network systems have large leaks, affecting rainwater drainage and increasing the risk of waterlogging. The drainage system planned in the new area has limited design standards and is easily overwhelmed when heavy rains come. In addition, there are also problems with the drainage connection between the new area and the old city. At the same time, the plan did not coordinate the construction of roads and pipe networks. Some of the newly built roads were higher than the surrounding areas, which hindered the drainage of rainwater. There is insufficient planning for flood prevention in low-lying areas and underground spaces. These areas are prone to water accumulation in the event of heavy rains. In the process of rapid urbanization in Dubai in modern times, a large number of natural river channels have been changed or obscured, which has led to great changes in their role in flood control. Dubai's natural rivers are mainly distributed in areas such as Irakna and Saadiyat in the southeast of the city. In the early days, most of these rivers had obvious seasonality. When heavy rains occurred in winter, they could take over and guide the discharge of part of the rainwater, playing a flood control role. However, with the climax of urban construction from the 1960s to the 1980s, areas such as Irakna were heavily developed, and many rivers were artificially diverted or converted into underground rivers, and the original hydrological state was seriously changed. This reduces the ability of rivers to store and discharge floodwaters. In the 21st century, with the construction of artificial islands and landmark buildings such as Palm Island, more and more rivers have been completely covered. They no longer have surface water bodies and cannot perform any flood control function. At the same time, urban construction has also cut off the connection of the river network and destroyed the drainage channels of floods. In addition, some rivers have been incorporated into the urban landscape system and have been over-commercially developed and utilized, and their flood control functions have been further weakened. Therefore, if Dubai wants to strike a balance between drought and rainfall and avoid and defend against flood attacks, it needs to comprehensively consider all aspects of scientific planning and prevention. First of all, it is necessary to change the concept of urban planning and include flood control and drainage as an important content. Dubai needs to change its urban planning concept that only focuses on economic development, consider flood prevention and drainage as an important content, and integrate it into urban spatial layout and infrastructure planning. Properly set up flood control green spaces, retain rainwater infiltration space, and transform and upgrade the drainage pipe network system to improve the city's own flood control and drainage capabilities. Then, it is necessary to combine climate models to improve fortification standards, use climate change models to predict future changes in rainfall patterns in Dubai, and fully consider extreme rainfall conditions to appropriately improve urban flood control standards. Adopt defensive high standards, increase design rainfall, and improve the flood prevention capabilities of infrastructure such as pipe networks and drainage pumping stations. Welcome to subscribe to our channel. We will update the latest news from around the world every day. Continue to use a scientific perspective to explore the complex truth behind meteorological events.